3D printing. The downside, I wanted a nice little box. There's 6 hours work. But I want more boxes. What can I do? Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. This week we're looking at the Necroplex 3D printed dumpsters. I wanted a few of these and to be able to offer them to people if they wanted them. So there's only one way to go with it. We're going to have to resin cast them. So we've got a little bit of prep work in there, etc. to make them look even better. So let's get cracking and get to the table. Right, so what we're looking at casting is a dumpster from Necroplex. Lids and the inserts. So some of this I want to smooth out before we make a mould. So I'm going to get some polyurethane, or this one's Humbrol satin varnish. Shows how old it is. It's got £1 35p on it. And what I want to do is just smooth some of this out a bit, so some of these areas that stick out. This just sits into the print grooves and it helps it smooth. Right, we've made up some casting boxes as we did in a previous video in part 1 of the resin casting series. So they're all ready and sealed to go, and I sprayed them with some mould release. Measured them up to work it out, so it's length times width times depth in inches times 18.5 will give you an idea of how much silicone you need in grams. So the next thing to do is start weighing out our silicone moulding rubber. Right, so we got our scales, we put our cup on and we've zeroed them. So we need 114 grams. So we pour this in. Obviously these scales are very accurate, there's a lot of numbers bouncing about here. You're getting that. £105. Okay, so we're up to 115. So we need to add 2%. So 2% is 2 grams. So just over 2 grams. So we'll take this up to 118. I do. So I've just done that, rid of this off the scales, and we put them out the way so we don't make a mess of them. So we've got to mix it. I use an old teething spoon to mix it slowly. You need to lift it up because you need to get around the edges, because you find silicone sticks to the edges and it doesn't mix with the catalyst very well. Let's give it a good mix. not to put too much air in it. You are going to get air in it full stop, but we'll deal with that in a minute. Make sure I got the bottom of the pot. Right, what I always do is take your rubber and put it into another pot, just make sure your pot's clean. If you didn't have a vacuum chamber, you can do a long pour into here to help break the air bubbles, and then do it again when you pour it in the mould. Oh, get it everywhere, this is why you wear gloves. Right, first thing to do with the vacuum chamber, take out this little bung at the top, which I think you can just about see if I tip it back. There you go. It's a big note on there reminding you to do it. This is obviously air intake, so we'll shut that one and we'll open up the extraction valve. Then we'll pop in our silicone, put it on and turn it on. Make sure it sits central. Just give the lid a little push. All of a sudden it'll grip. There we go. I'm going to lift the camera off so you can have a look inside. You can see it's starting to foam up, it pulls up loads of bubbles. The pressure's, the vacuum I should say, is still building. So we'll just let this run until the bubbles are out. So I'll let that finish off and then we'll come back pouring it in. Right, once you stop getting air bubbles, you can turn off the pump. You close that one, which is the one back to here, and then open up this one and let the air come back. This will take a little while. At this point it's always a good chance to go and put a kettle on or something. Right. We have our degassed silicone, so what we're going to do is pour it in. So for a point, I think. So what you're aiming to do is pour it, but you're not actually pouring it onto anything you're trying to cast, you pour it into a corner. There we go. So you might have to pour it quite slowly. Right, we've left our moulds overnight, as you can see they're nice and firm, so we just need to break them out. Phone cord, you just actually work it back. continue kneading our way around it, gradually breaking the seal and just putting the mould back. The big one could be quite a tough one to get out because obviously you've got the silicone going up in the middle. There we go. That's come out really well. So I'm happy with that. There you go. So I'll just get a pair of scissors and just trim off the excess. Just to show you what I'm doing, all I do is get a pair of scissors and I'll just go around, clean off, and I'll do the same on the inside, just to tidy it up. And that one came out pretty clean anyway, just like edges like that. That's just me being fussy when I'm doing the bottom ones, because you don't need to. It's just, I don't know, there's something nice about having the mould clean. There you go. Right, we've got our moulds. First job is to grab some talcum powder. Put some on. Grab a brush. So work this down, open this up. It's just like helps the resin, breaks any bubbles. It also means it releases easier. Bang out any excess. Same here, just brush this in. Might need a bit more on there because it's not right in the back there. That's better. Right. And same again, just go. If you don't want lumps of it left, you just want a coating. There we go. So now we'll mix up some resin. Right, we're going to mix up our resin, so I'm taking a bit of a flyer on it the first time. So I'm going to go for about 15, I think. Okay. Let's go for 17. Because we've got little moulds, so it'll probably be fine. Even if we don't have enough to do all of it, you know, I get an idea of that one to take that. And this one's sealed up lovely, so no trouble with these bottles. I'm going to have to go and get the grips. Right, we've weighed out our casting resin, so you've got part A, part B, same amount in weight. At the moment, no rush, nothing's going to happen. The second you put them together, the timer starts. So, rule number one, make sure you've got everything you need in front of you. So I'm going to do that one first. So pour this one slowly into that one. I tend to use the side when it run in. Over that. And push it down and then give it a mix gently. You don't want to get air in it, but you do want a nice good mix. You've probably got about 3 minutes working time with this stuff. Get that white. I'll put that in there. I'll put it there. This one, I'm going to pour it slowly onto the top of the centre. And then let it run itself down. Right, as a guess, I'd say that was pretty good. So I'm just going to pop the bubbles with a cocktail stick and we're sorted. Right, we're up to the moment of truth. So I'm going to break these out. You just ease your mould. I think it's hard enough. Yeah. This is the tricky one I was worried about a little bit. dregs are off. It's the tricky one of what I'm about to said. So, actually work that way around. Like that. So we look at that. So that's centered there. That's good. Right, I continue breaking these out. Just gently work them out. They come out pretty nice. Let's put that one out of the way. Now for the big one. That one there, it's all mottled because it hasn't mixed properly. So that means we could probably add another gram to so, because that's the dregs at the bottom. It's still set, paint fine. Just leave it set for a couple of hours. So let's work on the big one. Just a matter of gently teasing it. It's come up beautiful. So all we do now is clean them up. So I do recommend a mask for any sanding and gloves. Let's put this on. Molds out the way. So first job, just take the flash off. That is all the flash that's on there. What I tend to do, because you end up with a very tiny little lip. Get some sandpaper. This is where you want to put your gloves if you don't want to get the resin stuck in your hands. Make some salt. Little rub. Now we'll get rid of. Like that. You see the more flash, take it off. Right, there we go. Continue cleaning up all the rest of the pieces. I'm just using a sharp knife to do this. You could use a GW tool, but you'll find that some of the little tighter areas you will need a sharp knife to get into. And obviously just give it a little sand where it's needed. Right, there you have it. This is the resin cast one assembled and the inlay. One little trick, the resin is still slightly soft when you first take it out. Probably got for another hour or so. It hardens up even over 24 hours. So put your hinge together then give it a squeeze because it's got a bit of give. You find you've got a really strong hinge that won't come apart. But there we go. Have a quick look around it. That has come out lovely and clean. So it's worth the 5-10 minutes work, just adding some varnish and smoothing out some of the print lines. Also obviously something like this where you get stringing. Give it a brush if it's got a lot of stringing. I do it with a nylon brush or a brass brush even if it's bad. Give it a brush and then I cheat. I get a lighter, tip it at 45 degrees and just put in strings and they'll go back against the model. You just get a fingernail and take them off. If you do it at an angle you won't get so much carbon on it. One other little thing I will stick on in a second is how to clean the glass. I tend to use glass when I'm resin casting as a base and double-sided tape. If you don't know how to get the double-sided tape off, it's a pain, so I'll put a quick 2-minute thing on the end of this video. Thanks everyone for watching. Please go and have a go at casting. It's not rocket science, it's just a bit of practice. First time you do a mould it may not come out perfectly, even when you come to the resin casting side of it. I'll resin cast these, some of them come out, the inlays were slightly thick so I know to pour slightly less resin in them next time. Next lot I did, perfect. So thanks to everyone for watching and thanks to everyone who has subscribed. If you like this video please give it a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, get it all out there and I'll see you all soon. So keep printing, keep casting, keep gaming. Have a great week. Cheers all. Tape, you find it a build up on your glass and you need to clean it off. So simple way of doing this is we grab a can of WD-40 and we give it a good spray. There's the good old stuff. Right, give it a spray over and then you just leave this to soak for a minute or two. This just breaks down all the adhesive. This is also great for getting sticky tape off walls and things, especially when you've got kids. I think kids should be issued with a can of WD-40 from the hospital. And you just get a sharp knife and work your way around, scraping the tape, and you find it just peels off. Then just give it a wipe down with a damp cloth. After, I just tend to run it under a tap. If it needs odd little bits that are really stubborn, just give it another spray and repeat.